You know what I'm saying?
Now, the only reason people think it's hate is when, and I didn't see this interview, but they say you was with Jumper.
Yeah.
And you said Snoop Dogg is responsible for the way the public views Tupac, and Tupac wasn't ever close to Snoop's status. Why would you say such a lie like that, G? G.
Okay, so we gonna lie.
Big Pac was
So we
when he
gonna
was
lie
alive?
in this room.
No, we ain't gonna lie. Let's have a
So
discussion.
let's be honest.
Okay.
Who was the nigga in the rap game? Let's not ever do. Let's stop. Let's just stop the
Window.
bullshit. Period. All the way from 1993 when album came out to 1995,
No.
it was no bigger rapper than Snoop Dogg.
It was Pac. It was Snoop.
No.
Snoop came out first.
Hold up. No, Snoop didn't come out. Pac came out first.
Well, yeah, but that. But
don't try to-
You're right.
no,
You're right.
It was a different type of
Tupac
rapper
lives
when
now
first
and all
came out,
that,
yeah.
but he didn't blow. But then Snoop came
never-
out superstar.
No. Snoop was rap. Big came out trying to sell records like Snoop.
That's a fact.
That's true.
That's a bar.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm.
It's Snoop. Snoop is rap music. Snoop is the greatest rapper of all time. Not if he the best, not if this, he's the greatest. Like Snoop could go to any mall in America and they gonna know him. A white lady 80 or a little kid 8 gonna know Snoop Dogg.
But we talking about over time. In that period when Pac came out of jail,
You mean when he got next to Snoop Dogg?
when he signed to Death
Death
Row,
Row.
he became huge.
Because of Snoop Dogg is Death Row.
But he was doing movies. Like Pac was like,
Even with all that, was he as big as Snoop?
yes.
No.
At that time, yes.
No, not in 93, not in 94.
Hey, come on, he had
not-
Madonna coming to visit him in jail.
Pac was prolific, so people like Nip, where people like certain people, right? Their impact is way deeper than their quality versus the quantity. But if we talking about raw quantity of just like popping and somebody, I feel like Snoop gets so disrespected in the game.
No, he's a superstar.
No, it's past a superstar. He is rap.
Now,
No, he always been rap from the first day. From the first day, Snoop Dogg has been rap. Is nobody even been close to that type of even initial blast till Fifth. Fifth became the closest person. Snoop Dogg, not like as a kid, right? I remember watching on the news where they said he sold like 870,000 records the first week. And his record was so good, he sold 880,000 the second week.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dogg is rap. So it's not hate. Like, I'm sincere. Like, you wanted to be on Death Row because of Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. You wanted Dr. Dre beats, and you wanted to do a collab with Snoop
but
Dogg.
Pac was a superstar.
I'm
Pac, All Eyes on Me sold
agree.
5
I'm trying to think
million
about it now.
records, man.
That's Snoop Dogg's
Well, Snoop
influence.
sold more than Pac, right?
You think Snoop is the reason Pac blew up?
No, Pac had already became a rap star.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the movies. He was a movie star.
Correct.
Snoop Dogg was an icon from the first day. He became the biggest thing that ever happened to rap, period.
Pac was too, though, because you got to think about all the stuff that Pac was getting into outside of music, the shooting the police officers, the middle finger out the car, the spitting at the camera.
forgot Snoop.
Pac had everybody wearing the bandanas, getting the tats on their stomach.
Yeah, not really till after he passed away. The impact of Tupac. Now, this is real time. And you remember, it didn't happen till he passed away. Like, even his record selling 5 million, or going diamond because it's a double album, right? Didn't really happen until he passed away.
He sold a lot of records with All Eyes on Me. The
No,
number
he
one album
sold
in
a
the
lot
country.
of records with a ton of. Everything on Death Row went number one. Everything on Death Row was big.
Everything on the same. Everything on Bad Boy went number one.
I think-
I'm
listen,
trying to think. See, that's a
they
hard
both were
conversation.
superstars
They were
to me.
both
Like, I don't-
superstars, but
I never looked at one being bigger than the other.
Nobody ever, and this is not hate.
Snoop Dogg is the biggest rapper of all time.
Period.
He is.
And he was from the
And
first
the most
day.
recognizable.
And literally,
I would say that.
when he dropped Murder was the case. And then he went to jail for a murder.
That was big.
That was bigger than anything. That was bigger than, like, again, I could get why people could, if you don't know, if you looking at right now, that's like right now, 10 years from now, somebody not going to understand what was happening with Nip alive and then what happened after he passed away. They're not going to understand it. So what they're going to do is take today's time and make it yesterday.
So let's talk about this Tupac and Snoop Dogg shit. Alright, this how I feel, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in that era. Tupac came out before Snoop Dogg, years before Snoop Dogg. Probably about 4 to 5, 6 years before Snoop Dogg. So it's a gap separation where it's like the 90s and the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And then especially the early 90s. 89, 88, 89, 90, 91. Snoop didn't come to like 93. Think about that, you know what I'm saying? So Pac was already doing this thing. Pac has songs like, I remember when I first heard Keep Your Head Up. Classic. Saying something. Like really saying something. Brenda's Got a Baby. I'm saying these are songs like a lot of motherfuckers weren't doing, or some were. They were doing songs that had meaning to them and shit, but they weren't. I'm saying he was doing his thing. Long story short, in movies, nigga was in Juice, Poetic Justice. At that time, those two were like hood classics. You gotta remember, like this was at the time when like bootlegs just started popping. Boys in the Hood was out, all that kind of shit. So it was like all those hood movie type. You know what I'm saying? Them dope shits that we fuck with, classics to this day. Um we was caught up in him being Bishop. You know what I'm saying? So Tupac was popping. Don't get it twisted. Now mind you, just to keep it 100, this nigga got shot. This was before the death row shit. The nigga got shot. I'm saying he was in all kind of shit, spitting in the camera, doing this and then the third. If you go back to some of his videos, like on YouTube, you can see when he was mad young, talking like he had mad sense. You know what I'm saying? So he was popular, he was known, but he was just starting to become himself. You gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's two different things. I'm gonna keep it 100 because you gotta remember when Snoop came, that was a whole different feel. The West Coast was popping. Now, don't get it twisted. In the early 90s, NWA was popping in the 90s and all that. You know what I'm saying? But think about this. Dre was popping with the Chronic. You know what I'm saying? They had a deep cover album. I mean, you know, the soundtrack and shit. That song. And Dre's Chronic was crazy and Snoop was all over it. I think he co-wrote with that. So that was like the fucking piggyback to introduce him to the game. So it was like, oh my gosh. Phone fucked up real quick. But yo, to get back on Pac though, you gotta remember he had another movie that was popping, Above the Rim. Now mind you, I was young at this time. I was a young kid watching all this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is before Snoop came out. You know what I'm saying? I think some of those albums, like I seen in an interview, Glasses Malone was saying like those albums didn't get platinum and shit till he went to Death Row with Snoop and this and that. I don't think that's true. You know what I'm saying? He had classic songs already. Now don't, and mind you, fam, he shot police. Not to glorify none of this. I'm just saying stuff that he was known for. He was all over the place. Black Panthers, Child. What else? There was something else I want to say about this boy. He went to jail. He was in prison for rape. He was beefing with Biggie. He got shot. You know what I'm saying? It was mad shit going on where it was like Tupac was known already. He was big. But this is the difference. So was Tupac bigger than Snoop in his prime? Overall, Tupac is bigger than Snoop to a point. Like, but Snoop is bigger than Tupac to a point. Like, let me break it down. It's crazy. Because you gotta remember too, when Snoop came, that was a new era. Nigga had braids. He was a young skinny nigga from the West Coast with the voice. Had his little style and shit. Fucking with Dre's beats. On the Chronic, nigga smoking weed. All that shit plays a part into popularizing you and stuff. Now, mind you, when his album was finally about to pop, he's the young boy. He's a gangbanger. The nigga Snoop's album was fire. And it showed a different style. And he was West Coast. And all the beats was fire and the skits and all that. But you gotta remember this. Simple shit like this. His album cover. I think his album was like one of the most anticipated albums of ever. But because he was a young guy under Dre, like coming up. But yo, his album cover, Doggy Style, the cartoon, the dogs, the sexy little dog chick, that ass just look nice. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, on some real shit, like, so Snoop was different. He was introducing the dog shit, you know what I'm saying, which helped introduced Bow Wow to a point. I'm not talking about him introducing Bow Wow, period. I'm talking about the little dog thing they do. Bow Wow, Snoop Dogg, Bow Wow Wow, yippee yo, yippee all that extra shit. Before DMX, they was them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he appealed to, don't get it twisted, it's like Snoop was smoking weed and all that shit, but he appealed to so many people. Like, he dropped the song Gin and Juice. When that shit dropped, you know how many niggas start drinking gin and juice? Or niggas already drinking gin and juice. It was just made it popularized. Braids, you over there with them French braids. All that kind of shit plays a part. Snoop's shit was platinum. Like, just to be honest. Then he caught a body, supposedly. He had the murder case. Then he dropped Murder Was the Case video and all that kind of shit. And that, I think he had like a little side album movie shit. You gotta think about all that. So Snoop was big as fuck. Like, and Snoop came out straight being a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So it was a new, fresh face, young rapper, tall, gangbanger, West Coast, Dre. Excuse me. Came out at the right time, everything. Shit was perfect. So I get why he's saying, why Glasses Malone is saying this nigga is bigger than Pac. Because to a point, I can agree. Because Snoop was that nigga. And he is one of the people that anybody would know him. A little kid, a fucking grown up. You know what I'm saying? Like an old motherfucker. They'll know that boy. So that's dope. Pac lives on forever though. Pac been gone about 23 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for us to still be talking about him, that's crazy. But Snoop was out then. So for us to be talking about him still is crazy. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for both of them. Not trying to put them against each other. Fuck it. I feel like Snoop feels like, alright, cause look at this. I remember this. I remember when Tupac went to Death Row. That shit was like, what the fuck? This nigga went to Death Row. I remember when they was on MTV. They was doing the behind the scenes, I think, for California Love and all that kind of shit. I remember all that where it was like, yo, what the fuck? But see, this the thing. We was happy. Like, I fucked with Death Row back then heavy. I fucked with Snoop and them, right? But I was a bad boy fiend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get y'all to understand, like, I'm on some non-biased shit because I was a bad boy fiend. You know what I'm saying? But I love Death Row too. So I just remember when Tupac went over there, when I was hearing about it, like, what the fuck? This nigga Tupac with them, California Love and all that. This shit dope. And of course, like, the drama that came with it. And obviously, he was already beefing with Biggie and them. So it's like, this nigga Suge Knight said, you won all in the videos. Come to Death Row. Obviously, all that shit played a part, and the fucking public is watching. So you can't be like, you can't say, I don't know, they trying to base and act like Death Row helped Pac, especially of course after he died. Like, his record sales went through the roof, but he was always that nigga. You know what I'm saying? They both was. It is what it is. But I'm blabbing a little too much. So I don't know what y'all feel as far as, like, do y'all feel Glasses Malone? Because I feel what he's saying fully. Like, I get what he's trying to get at, but I want to say my side too, because, you know what I'm saying, kind of makes sense to me. But this Mark Black, Marley and Mine Films. Shout out to Pac. Shout out to Snoop. Two legends in the motherfucking game. I'm trying to get in the game soon. Music coming soon and shit. Be on the lookout for that on my page. Marley and Mine. We out this bitch. I'm out this bitch because it's only me right now. Like, comment, subscribe. What? Yeah, I have one more thing to say. When Snoop came out, Dre and all them, at that time, Chronic, this Doggy Style album, you gotta remember Warren G just came out too. It was all that G-Funk era. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole new sound. So that's what I mean by a new flavor, like bringing something new to the game. You know what I'm saying? It brought a different energy, so I get it. But, like I said, shout out to both of these talented musicians, black men, successful brothers. R.I.P. Pac. Your name lives on forever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever.